Sarah was in a hospital room. It was very clean and quiet. She sat on a hospital bed, wearing a special gown. For 10 long years, Sarah had felt a deep sadness, a heavy feeling that stayed with her every day. She had tried many different medicines. Doctors gave her pills that should help with sadness, but none of them truly worked. The medicines did not make her feel better, and her mind remained gray and tired. Now, Sarah was waiting for a very unusual medical procedure. It sounded almost like something from a science fiction movie. Doctors were going to put human waste material from another healthy person into Sarah's body. This was not to fight a known infection. The surprising goal was to cure her decade-long depression. For a very long time, doctors thought that all answers for mental health problems were only in the brain. They focused on brain chemicals, but for Sarah, the real problem and the solution seemed to be not in her head, but in an organ she had always ignored, her gut or stomach area. Inside Sarah's gut, there lived a huge, hidden community. It was a universe of tiny living things, too small to see without a microscope. There were trillions of them, mostly bacteria. These tiny beings were like the ghosts in the machine, a part of her, yet not quite her. But here was the twist. These ghosts were not just one spirit. They were a community of countless bacteria, living and working together inside her body. They were always busy, making chemicals and sending signals. These bacteria were not just passive guests. They were powerful helpers. They could change how Sarah felt. For many years, medical science believed the brain was alone in making us feel happy or sad. But this thinking was wrong. These tiny helpers in the gut were deeply connected to her feelings. There is a specific, important connection between the stomach and the brain. It is like a secret road or a hidden conversation that many doctors did not understand for a long time. They focused on the brain alone. But this constant talk between the gut and the brain is very important. Understanding this link is the key. It can unlock happiness and help people like Sarah find joy again. 2. The body's hidden line. The story so far has shown us that our minds and bodies are deeply connected through something more than just thoughts. Now, let's see the physical connection. Think of your brain and your stomach as two important cities. How do they talk to each other? They use a special road, or rather, a very long nerve. This is called the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the biggest nerve in your body. Its name means wanderer in an old language, and that's exactly what it does. It starts at the very bottom of your brain. From there, it goes down through your neck, your chest, and deep into your stomach area. It's like a main highway with many exits that connect to almost every major organ, especially your gut. Where it reaches your intestines, it spreads out, forming many small branches. These branches have tiny parts that can feel and taste what is happening inside your stomach. You might think that your brain just sends orders down this nerve to your stomach, for example, telling it to digest food. But the vagus nerve is much smarter than that. It's a two-way street. Yes, your brain sends messages down, but most of the time, the vagus nerve is sending messages up to your brain. It sends constant reports from your gut. It tells your brain about the food you've eaten, about how your intestines are feeling, and even about the tiny living things inside your stomach. This is not just simple talking. It's a never-ending conversation. Your gut and brain are always in touch, exchanging information. This constant talk, This dialogue plays a big part in how you feel every day. It helps decide your mood, your energy, and even how you react to things. It shows that your mind is not alone in your head. It works together with your whole body, especially your stomach. Now, let's think about happiness. When people talk about feeling happy, they often think about a special chemical. This chemical is called serotonin. Many people believe that serotonin is mostly found and made in the brain. They think that if you don't have enough serotonin in your brain, you might feel sad. This idea has been around for a long time.
But what if I told you that almost all of your body's serotonin, about 90 to 95% of it, is made in a surprising place? It's not in your brain at all. This chemical, which is so important for how happy you feel, is actually made somewhere else in your body. We will learn exactly where and how this happens in the next chapter. This important fact changes how we think about our feelings. Understanding this special road, the vagus nerve, and this constant talk between your gut and brain helps us see something important. It helps us understand why sometimes you just trust your gut. It's not just a saying, it's a real biological fact. Your gut sends signals that your brain uses to help you make decisions and to shape your mood. This deep connection sets the stage for discovering even more about your body's hidden lines of communication. 3. The factory inside you. In the last chapter, we talked about a special chemical linked to happiness. Many people think this chemical, called serotonin, is mostly made in the brain, but this is not true. In fact, most of the serotonin in your body, about 90 to 95%, is made in your gut. It is produced in a part of your intestines called the colon, not in your brain. This discovery is a big surprise for many scientists and doctors. So, how does this happen? The answer lies with the tiny bacteria living inside you. These helpful bacteria work like a small factory.
They do not make serotonin directly. Instead, they produce special chemicals called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. These SCFAs are like secret keys. They are made when your gut bacteria eat and break down dietary fiber, the parts of plant foods that your body cannot digest itself. Think of fiber as food for your good bacteria. When bacteria digest fiber, they release these SCFAs. These SCFAs then travel through your gut. They find special cells in the lining of your colon. These cells are called enterochromaffin cells. When the SCFAs touch these cells, they tell the enterochromaffin cells to start making serotonin. It's like a signal from the bacteria to your own body cells. Once made, this serotonin goes into your bloodstream. From there, it can travel around your body. Although this serotonin from your gut does not directly cross into your brain in large amounts, it still has a big effect. It talks to the nerves in your gut, and these nerves then send messages to your brain through the vagus nerve, influencing how you feel. But the SCFAs do more than just help make serotonin. They can also travel directly to your brain. Once there, they help to keep your brain healthy in other ways. For example, they can reduce inflammation, which is swelling that can harm brain cells. They also help your brain grow new connections, which is important for learning and good mood. So, these tiny chemicals from your gut bacteria are like messengers with many important jobs.
Scientists have seen this factory in action. For example, studies with animals that have no gut bacteria show very low levels of serotonin in their colon. But when these animals get some helpful bacteria, their serotonin levels go back to normal. This shows how important these gut bacteria are for making the chemicals that affect your happiness. This means your mood and feelings of happiness are closely linked to the health of your gut bacteria.
They are like a factory working inside you to create joy. But what happens if something goes wrong with this factory? What if these important bacteria are accidentally harmed or even killed? If your bacteria make your happiness, what happens when you don't have enough of them? In the next chapter, we will look at a common mistake that changed our internal world and led to a big problem for mental health today. 4. A war in the stomach. The year was 1928. A man named Alexander Fleming made an important discovery. He saw that a mold called penicillium could kill bacteria. This discovery led to penicillin, the first antibiotic. By the 1940s, antibiotics were widely used. They saved many lives, especially during World War II. People used them to cure serious infections that once caused death. This was a great step for medicine. But there was also a hidden cost. Doctors started to use antibiotics often. These medicines did not just kill bad bacteria, they killed all bacteria. Inside our bodies, we have a huge community of microbes. This community is called our internal ecosystem. When we took antibiotics, we often destroyed this important ecosystem. It was like waging a war on our own body's tiny helpers. Scientists later gave a name to this idea, the holobiont. This word means that a human is not just one organism. A human is a team of human cells and all the microbes living with them. Together, they form one big system. The way Western medicine used antibiotics, it often fought against this natural partnership. It waged a war on our own biology without knowing it. Over time, this led to a problem called dysbiosis. This means the microbial ecosystem inside the body becomes unbalanced. It loses many good bacteria and has too many bad ones. A healthy gut needs many different kinds of bacteria, like a healthy forest needs many different trees. When dysbiosis happens, the body's internal environment becomes sick. This condition can make people feel very bad, sometimes even like depression. But it is not a problem with the brain alone. It is an ecological disaster inside the body, affecting how we feel. Simply stopping antibiotics is not enough to fix this damage. Our bodies need help to bring back the good bacteria. Scientists began to look for new types of medicine to help fix this problem. Chapter 5 will talk about these new ways to heal the gut, and in turn, the mind. 5. Good bugs for the brain. A new era in medicine has begun, focused on psychobiotics.
This word describes specific good bacteria that can improve your mental health. Researchers have found certain types of bacteria, like Lactobacillus rhamnosus, can act as natural helpers for people feeling down. For instance, a study in 2025 showed that Lactobacillus rhamnosus worked better than two common antidepressant drugs, bupropion and venlafaxine, in rats dealing with stress. The researchers found this helpful bacteria worked in many ways at once. It boosted important brain chemicals, helped protect the gut lining, and could calm down swelling in the brain. Unlike single chemical pills that target only one problem, these bacteria work with the whole body system. Another key bacteria is Bifidobacterium longum. One specific strain, known as 1714, has been studied closely. In a 2019 brain imaging study, healthy volunteers who took Bifidobacterium longum 1714 managed stress better. Doctors used special brain scans to see how the brain's electrical activity changed in real time. This showed clearly that these bacteria could directly change how human brains handle emotions, offering a powerful effect. Another strain,
Bifidobacterium longum, NCC 3001, is especially good at making special fatty acids that protect the brain and reduce sad feelings in animal tests, showing more ways these tiny organisms help.
This new science changes how we usually think about medicine. It moves away from just using chemical pills for symptoms. Instead, it offers a way to use living organisms to improve mental well-being by fixing the root causes. These good bugs are not just supplements. They represent a path where medicine works with life itself, not against it. Some doctors are still careful, saying more large studies are needed to be fully sure about all the effects. But many scientists are very hopeful, seeing psychobiotics as a big and important part of the future of mental health treatment. However, there is a serious challenge that doctors face. For some people, the gut environment is too unhealthy and damaged. It's so broken that even these helpful psychobiotic bacteria cannot settle there and grow. They cannot survive long enough to do their important work for the brain. When the gut's natural community is severely out of balance, simply adding probiotics might not be strong enough to fix the problem completely. This brings a critical question. What can be done when the body's internal ecosystem is so broken that adding good bugs alone is not enough to help? The answer points to the most radical and surprising medical procedure available in modern times. Chapter 6. The Strange New Cure. Chapter 6 talks about a very special and new medical treatment. It is called fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT. This is a brave new step in helping people who suffer from long-term depression.
For many, the idea of FMT sounds very strange. It involves using human waste, also known as stool. Most people have a strong feeling of dislike about this. They might think, that sounds really gross. This natural reaction is called the yuck factor. It comes from deep inside us and from what we learn as children. We are taught that waste is dirty and should be avoided. But scientists and doctors are changing this old idea. They now see this special substance as biological gold. Why? Because it is full of tiny living things called bacteria. These bacteria are not bad or dirty. Instead, they are very important helpers. They have lived with humans for millions of years, working together with our bodies. The FMT treatment uses these healthy, good bacteria to fix problems inside a person's gut that are causing sickness. It helps to rebuild a healthy community of microbes. Think about a very important study from Canada. Doctors at a special psychiatric unit helped 2 patients who had very severe depression. These patients had tried many different medicines and treatments for years, but nothing helped them feel better. Then, they had the FMT procedure. After only 4 weeks, something truly amazing happened for both patients. Their deep sadness started to lift. The heavy feeling they had carried for years began to get lighter. They felt a sense of calm and lightness that they had not felt in a very long time.
This change was much faster than what often happens with usual depression medicines, which can take many weeks or months to work. For people who had lost all hope, this quick return to feeling better was like a miracle. So, how does this special cure work? It is quite simple to understand, even if it seems complex. Imagine a garden that is sick, with bad soil and no healthy plants. The FMT process is like replacing that whole sick garden with a healthy new one. First,
doctors gently clean out the sick person's gut. This removes the unhealthy bacteria. Next, they take a small amount of human waste from a donor. This donor is a very healthy person who is checked carefully. Doctors then put this healthy material, which has billions of good bacteria, into the sick person's gut. These new, healthy bacteria start to grow and create a thriving new ecosystem. This new gut environment can then send good signals to the brain, helping it to make important chemicals that bring feelings of happiness and well-being. It is like giving the body a fresh start with a new, healthy internal world. This powerful change brings up a very deep question. If swapping bacteria can make you feel happy and even change parts of your personality, are you still the same person you were before? You might start to enjoy different things or feel more hopeful about life. Your mood and even your reactions to things could be different. This makes us think about what truly makes you, you. Is it only your brain?
Or is it also the tiny world of bacteria inside you? This is a philosophical puzzle that shows how closely our body and mind are connected. It forces us to think about where our identity really comes from. 7. Food and feelings. This chapter is about how the food you eat can change your feelings. It is not about losing weight. It is about feeding the tiny helpers, or ghosts, inside your body. These are the trillions of bacteria in your gut. They need certain foods to be healthy and healthy. For many years, people ate food full of fiber. This kind of food helped good bacteria grow strong. Our ancestors' diets were very rich in plants, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods provided a feast for the diverse community of microbes inside them. But today, many people eat a modern diet. This diet has a lot of processed foods like sugary drinks, fast food, and snacks. It includes refined carbohydrates, which are grains stripped of their fiber, and industrial oils. These foods are easy for your human body cells to digest, but they do not feed your gut bacteria. They mostly pass through your upper digestive system without giving the important bacteria in your colon what they need. When good bacteria do not get the right food, they become weak and fewer in number. The variety of bacteria in your gut goes down. This creates an imbalance called dysbiosis. A healthy gut needs many different kinds of bacteria, like a healthy forest needs many kinds of trees.
If your gut loses its good bacteria, the entire system becomes fragile. This can make you feel unwell, and it can affect your mood. So, what should you eat to help your good bacteria? The answer is fiber. Special kinds of fiber are called prebiotics. Think of prebiotics as fertilizer for your good gut bacteria. These are special plant fibers that your body cannot digest, but your gut bacteria can. When these good bacteria eat prebiotics, they work hard. They make important chemicals for you. These chemicals are called short-chain fatty acids. We learned earlier that these fatty acids are crucial. They help your body make serotonin, a chemical linked to happiness, mostly in your gut. Short-chain fatty acids also travel to your brain, where they help protect your brain cells and keep them healthy. They reduce inflammation, which can be bad for your mood. Foods rich in prebiotics include many common items. You can find them in onions, garlic, leeks, and asparagus. Bananas, especially slightly green ones, are good sources. Oats, barley, and other whole grains also provide these helpful fibers. Eating these foods every day gives your gut bacteria what they need to thrive and make these beneficial chemicals for your well-being. Remember, Fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT, is a powerful treatment for very serious cases of depression when other things have failed. But for most people, changing your diet is a very powerful and practical tool.
You can use food every day to make your second brain healthier. Choosing the right foods is a simple, direct way to support your gut bacteria. This can improve how you feel, boosting your mood and overall health, starting today. The new you. This journey has shown how our understanding of the human body is changing deeply. We began with Sarah in her hospital room, awaiting a unique procedure for her long-term depression. Now we see this procedure, fecal microbiota transplantation, as a key part of a new medical future. We are learning that each of us is not just a single person. Instead, we are like ecosystems that live and work together. This means we are made up of our human cells and trillions of tiny living things inside us, especially bacteria in our gut. This entire system, host and microbes together, is called a holobiont. It challenges our old ideas about the self. Sarah's recovery, which brought her a new sense of lightness, was not magic. It was the simple restoration of a healthy biological partnership within her. Her decade-long depression was connected to a problem with her gut bacteria. When these bacteria were made healthy again, Sarah's mood lifted. The deep sadness she felt was truly a part of who she was then, because her body's internal ecosystem was out of balance. When that ecosystem changed, Sarah changed too. She found her way back to joy and motivation.
This raises a very important question. If swapping bacteria can change how we feel and even parts of our personality, are we still the same person, or have we become a new version of ourselves? Looking to the future, we can imagine a new kind of personalized medicine. When someone experiences depression, doctors might first analyze their gut bacteria. Using special tests, they can find out which specific bacteria are missing or too numerous. Then, treatment can be precisely chosen for that person's unique microbial profile. For some, this might mean taking specific good bacteria, known as psychobiotics. For others, it could involve changing their diet to feed the beneficial bacteria. For very severe cases, like Sarah's, fecal microbial transplantation could be the best option. This personalized approach will focus on fixing the gut's complete ecology rather than just treating symptoms in the brain. This idea treats mental health as a holobiont disease, not just a brain disease. The technology to do this is available now, and scientists are making new discoveries every month. This is not just a distant dream, it is happening today. We are learning to see ourselves as integrated living communities, changing what we believe about the mind, the self, and the roots of our emotions. Considering everything we've discussed, how do you feel about the idea that your personal identity and mood might be deeply connected to the invisible world of bacteria inside you?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.